Someone's coming from outside, Grizz. I'm holding the door though. He's trying to push the door. You better. I'm holding shield for you. I'm holding shield. You're on him. You better.
I'm better. Welcome to the channel. My name is Grizzy, and today we're going to cover how to break through your platinum games. With the tips from this guide, you're going to be on your way to earning that highly desired diamond trail. Yeah! Now for all of you gold and diamond players out there, even masters players, these tips could very well apply to you, so make sure to listen up as well. Now guys, let's get you on that championship banner. First off, we are going to talk early game. I find that landing at the same 1 to 2 places means you're going to be extremely confident at that point of interest. Now when landing, obviously you don't want to land at a POI and immediately 50-50 right off the drop. The most important part about ranked is having a great beginning. If you guys are terrible in the first 3 minutes of the game, you're not going to gain consistent points. These are kind of my first tips of guidance with starting your games. Find some place you guys want to consistently call your spot, go there, get it ingrained in your head where you're looting, where you're rotating, and then while you fly to that drop spot, take note of the teams landing at POIs next to your location. The best strategy to a ranked game is to quickly rotate to a nearby POI that does have 2 teams that did land contested. A lot of times, if you're quick enough, you're going to get there just in time for the third party where you can clean up and take all the loot from the previous 2 teams. Now this start to the game gets your team heavily looted up, and it will start you in the game with 2 to 3 kill points. Now once your kill points are established, make sure to utilize any nearby beacon with your recon legend, and then you worry about positioning yourself for the late game. Rotate safely to the next ring and rotate towards another beacon and zone if you're able to. Now playing beacon to beacon is a highly effective strategy, so make sure you're utilizing that recon class to gain additional ring knowledge so you can be one of the first teams to the circle and position yourself for the win in the late game. Let's talk rotations. World's Edge is the largest map in the game and allows for some creative rotations towards endgame. And now when rotating towards one of the later circles in the game, always bring up your map and select 2 to 3 various options to take. When you rotate towards the zone, make sure you're scanning and locating any potential threats in the area and try and position yourself with the storm at your back. Taking a building with height advantage and the storm at your back gives you a big advantage and can help you to clean up for endgame. Now I'm going to show you guys a perfect example of the importance of positioning and rotation knowledge towards endgame to help give you guys a real concrete example. So they know they got one team down at the crafter here. There were shots, they did ping, if you can see this. So there's a team inside of thermal here. They know that there's a team behind them 100%. They know that that team pretty much is guaranteed to roll up from behind. Like before anything even goes down, right? This is what I'm thinking. I think that they need to clear out this area right here. When you're going into this final zone, you need to start thinking like, yeah, they're pinging areas that are potential locations. It's best to have the storm at your back. Obviously, if the storm is at your back, you're not going to have to worry about any team coming from behind you. I don't know why this team right here, you can see in the circle, pieces of this building are in still. So like half of this building is still in, like the ring's gonna close around this. I think that they can take kind of like inside of this building, maybe even outside of the building. That's a pretty good place to be right now because you know that there's a team behind them and that they're gonna push up. They might be able to even gatekeep this team from here, and they really don't know. Like it's a question mark going into this little choke here. What's gonna come about? Right, so somebody's flying in. Right now it's just one and a full team. It looks like they might be chasing a rat, honestly. It might not be a full team there. And there's a team immediately behind them right now. So checking the kill feed right here, this guy knocked, right? There was no knock, and there's 14, and the squad number dropped. So they just chased a solo down. So there's not 2 teams fighting behind them. if you're checking the kill feed. What they need to do at this point is they know that there's a team at this compound, and they know that there's a team coming from their right here. They're kind of in no man's land, and I think the best play on their part at this point is going to be they need to engage this team, and they need to probably get inside and take this building here. And if you look too, the best place that ends up being in zone is this house. So it was likely that this house was probably taken and they were going to have to fight for it. They've just kind of taken way too long to actually fight for that house. I think, like I said earlier, they needed to come post up here, and then they could fight this team from this area. They have to win that fight, and then once they win that fight, then they can rotate through the choke, and then they can kind of get to end game here. Now, next up, let's talk about legend selection. Before I get into any of these details, if you specialize in a certain legend that isn't considered meta, don't worry. If you work hard enough, you can be successful with any legend or team composition in the game. However, I'm just going to cover some of the best legends that you should try to utilize to help you and your team to win ranked games more easily. In order to win more ranked games and fly through the platinum ranks, I highly advise the selection of a support, recon, and offensive legend. Pairing these three types of legends is going to give your team much more versatility in fights and rotations to get you to that win. Now, the easiest legend to play for ranked gains and to help the team is by having a Bloodhound on the team. Bloodhound is extremely broken right now. Bloodhound provides so much information to the team in fights and for rotations. I highly advise that your team utilizes Bloodhound. This legend's wall hacks are absolutely absurd and so easy to use in just one click of a button. Now, keep in mind that Crypto is another valuable legend and can be played at a very high level. However, Bloodhound with those simple skins can really take your team to the next level. Now, with regards to support, Gibraltar is the #1 support legend in the entire game with his ability to create instant cover. Gibby's bubble can help you secure wins in late game when the ring ends in an obscure location without much cover. Other notable support legends to run in Platinum are Lifeline and Caustic. Lifeline can help your team with combat revives and gear with that upgraded ultimate ability, and Caustic can help you to hold locations for late game. Now, when it comes to offensive legends, there are plenty of useful offensive legends in the game. Some of the best offensive legends in ranked are legends that are able to take a wide flank and get some sort of a different angle, and they're going to be able to get safely back to their team if they find themselves in a tough situation. Now, try utilizing Octane, Wraith, Pathfinder, maybe even Bangalore as offensive legends to rank up. Now, my next tip when it comes to breaking out of Platinum, or any rank for that matter, is your weapon loadout. First off, your weapon loadout should be catered to your specific legend strengths. For example, it wouldn't be super effective if your Wraith was running a sniper like a charge rifle. Wraith's main job to the team is to gain additional angles and flank the enemy position and to get in there first. The offensive legend needs to be utilizing assault rifles, SMGs, and shotguns. It would make a lot more sense for the support legend such as Gibby to run something like a charge rifle and then maybe a shotgun for bubble fights. Now, side note, if your team is running a Gibraltar, make sure you and your entire team are running shotguns, because a lot of your fights will take place in the Gibby bubble, and you're going to want to have a shotgun to be able to dance in and out of that bubble during that fight. Now, each player has certain weapons that they gravitate to and are more successful with. Due to your success with those certain weapons, make sure that you're looking for the same weapon loadouts each game, and you know exactly what you're looking to, because you're going to have success and consistency with that weapon. My primary weapon is typically an R301 for medium to short range, paired with an EVA 8 shotgun or Volt. With that being said, the absolute best close range weapon in the game this season, hands down, is the EVA 8. If you're rocking a shotgun, get good with the EVA 8. Trust me, you're gonna decimate people with the EVA this season. Now, guys, make sure you're following all these tips, and I guarantee you're gonna win more ranked games this season. Make sure if you learned something to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're bringing plenty of more content here in Season 9 of Apex Legends, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Grizzy, and I'm out.